Uh-oh. Oh, what? Oh, you know what? It's not plugged in. Okay.
Just let me know when I can start.
Okay.
So it's recording? Okay. All right, everybody, it's 7 o'clock on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. And we are beginning our Public Works Council meeting for this evening. We will start off with our land acknowledgement. In the spirit of reconciliation, the Corporation of the Township of Nipigon respectfully acknowledges it is located on the traditional lands of the Red Rock Indian Band, signatory to the Robinson Superior Treaty of 1850. And the township further respectfully acknowledges the historic presence of the Métis people on these lands. We have regrets from Councillor Westhaver and Councillor Cartwright this evening. But we do have quorum, so we're good to go. Okay, are there any addendums to the agenda? No. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest this evening? Okay, seeing none. Approval of previous committee minutes. So we will be doing the moving and the seconding because we were too busy chatting before. Okay, thank you. So we have mover and a seconder. Resolution number 259-2024, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Hart, that the Public Works Committee meeting minutes of September 27th, 2024 are hereby adopted as recorded by the Public Works Superintendent. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay. All right, so our first order of business after that is Public Works Superintendent report for all matters of discussion. So Taylor, I don't know how you would like to do this.
Do you want me to just kind of jump in and I can run through everything in this one and then kind of you can announce the new business next?
Sure, yeah, sounds good.
So, 4B, Parks Canada Heritage Trees and Plaques. So they did provide us with tree species recommendations. So I'm just looking for you guys to select a species. My recommendation is to select one of the staple tree species that they have recommended. But again, that is at your discretion. And then oh wait, sorry, no, it's in another piece that I'll get to that. But yeah, so that's it for that. Just selecting a tree species there.
And you said the stable species, what is that? Like, what is, like,
so
you mean?
they did, they gave us like a list of different species and then some that have kind of fared better down at the marina. So you're just looking at a more likelihood that they're gonna survive the climate.
Okay. So we're just, like for the resolution, we'd be looking at, like, is there a specific species that you're recommending, or we just have one of the stable species?
Yeah, so there was a few of them in the package that went out.
Looks like there's 3 stable ones here.
Yes.
But
So you want us to pick one of those?
why are mountain ash considered worse than they're native? The American mountain ash. I have one in my yard that's like 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
There's a lot around. Okay. All right, so sorry, so you just want to sort of give an overview and then we'll go into detail about the different items?
Sure, or like what do you mean an overview?
Like you want to just go through the 2 old business ones, or should we?
Oh, yes, yeah, so
Okay.
I can jump down to 4C.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. Yeah, so 4C, I had a look at the Township of Red Rock's kind of mooring agreement that they have. It's a lot less invasive than what we've had drafted up. And I think just in the spirit of kind of keeping the process for accessing those services kind of simplified and not too in-depth and hindering people's access and ability to the marina, I think that we adopt something similar to Red Rocks. So my recommendation is to redraft that agreement, keep a couple of things from there, but then in consultation with legal and the township's insurance, then we'll kind of redraft the whole thing. I think that's the best option.
Okay, so we're good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So for D, the RFP 2024-10 for the municipal office boiler system upgrades. So we received a proposal from Villeneuve Mechanical in the amount of $48,876 plus HST, and that's for the boiler purchase and installation. And then an additional $1,482 to inspect the hydronic system to improve the HVAC distribution in that building. As we were kind of discussing, the heat is just off in different
Inhumane.
areas.
Yeah.
In different areas, and we can't really get down to the root of what the cause is. So just before we go ahead and do that, we're gonna have them inspect it first.
Is that gonna correct the AC problems and the heat?
Yes, that's
The
essentially.
heat, I guess, but the AC
Heat
is
and
looking the
AC,
same thing.
yeah,
right?
the whole,
There's
yeah,
something wrong with the way the air is moving.
Yeah,
yes, there's something going on there,
That's
so,
modern.
yeah, as a first step is then to inspect, and then to proceed with that. So the recommendation is that council review and approve the proposed RFP for that
Yeah.
municipal boiler system.
I was under the impression that previous council had studies like this done on the building in there.
Okay, I have not seen anything like that of that sort.
Linda, are you aware of anything that's been done in the past that you can remember?
I know that they've had, different contractors come in and check it out and try different things, and so far we haven't had much luck with that, so.
Right. Okay,
Villeneuve did seem to know quite a bit about the system,
okay,
and, of course, the company that installed it is not in business anymore, right? So,
Okay.
So options are limited, but from what he was saying, he had a good idea what could be costing it.
okay. Alrighty. Okay, any other questions about that part? Okay. Landfill, oh, sorry.
So for E, the senior snow plowing pilot, and then cause some of these like to have resolutions with them, do you want to do the resolutions kind of as we?
I think let's
Or
go
go
through
through
them
it
as
all.
you're
Yep.
going, we'll
And
ask
then-
our questions. And then if there's anything that, like, I'll read out all the information that we're approving, and if there's anything that anyone doesn't want to approve, then we'll just ask for more
Awesome.
information or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, so
Okay.
let's keep
Perfect.
going on. There we
The
go.
senior snow plowing pilot project. So as council's aware, Terrace Bay has a similar program. I attached some information on that program. So my recommendation is that council indicate support to proceed with an RFQ for senior snow plowing services to determine local interest. And then upon receiving those prices, we can then determine if the township wants to subsidize this service and who would be eligible. So.
Does anyone have any questions about that one?
have they had any issues with the eligibility of it? Like, it's kind of invasive and privacy, and people might not wanna do that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, so they don't require a whole lot of documentation on their end to kind of make yourself eligible. The one tricky part that they said that they've had issues with is, people who are applying to the program, but then they also have people living in the home who
Are capable?
Yes.
Are people, yeah, I did see, address that.
So that's one of the caveats
Yeah.
to the program, is trying to figure out how you determine that and how far you go with investigation into that as well.
Yeah, I guess you could, like, because we know people in town, it's a small town, so most people would know if someone is younger and more able, is living there and able to. And I guess, we just, if they say that that's what they, that's not the situation, then, that's when we call them on it, or maybe just have them sign off a thing that's swears
Mhm.
that no one is, you know, living with them that's capable of doing this and all that stuff,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, any other
So-
questions on
No, that was
that?
all I was gonna comment on.
Okay,
So for F turtle dock damages, so I recommend to council, that we table the installation of cameras at Turtle Dock to the spring, as there are no installation locations with hydro access that would capture the lagoon area. In addition to the vandalism to Turtle Dock on September 13th, it has been discovered that the dock itself has broken apart, leaving the furthest extensions stranded in the lagoon. So I recommend that council directs the public works superintendent to secure a contractor to remove this stranded section of the dock and find someone to repair the aluminum.
okay, does anybody have any questions or anything on that?
How close do you have hydro for cameras? Cause you can't get lenses for cameras that can zoom 100, 200 yards if you need to.
So you do have access on the marina side, but then the issue being that the tracks,
And the thing too is they're coming from either end. They're not coming from the middle, so just
Yeah.
having a camera say
at the one end.
at the one end, at the,
The
The bridge.
further end, being the one that you access off of Cemetery Road
Yeah.
is a lot harder. They're really, I thought maybe Policeman's had stuff down there, but we went down and he doesn't have anything there. And same with around the other end. So definitely though, you would at least capture that one end from the marina docks.
cause I know the ones that were captured in the camera that somebody took, they had walked back, hopped on their ATVs and bikes and came back up through.
But if you, just to mention, because my husband's a police officer, so that they're dealing with this stuff all the time, if you don't capture the people actually doing what you think they've done, just because you've seen these people driving
That's what I
there
mean,
and then
you would have to
returning,
have some
you have
sort
to
of-
have it on
Right.
the place that's being damaged,
But
right?
the-
And
the
being
newer-
able to see
Yeah.
faces and then it's dark, like, I don't know.
With
Yeah.
the newer cameras,
Yeah,
there's a lot more possibility, you just now paying more for them.
yeah,
Like, there's cameras, you can pick out a hair from 100 yards away.
yeah.
And what about a trail cam? Because trail cams don't need hydro, right? What are they?
No, the issue with those is that, at least historically, they've been getting stolen as well. So you put
Steal
them,
the camera.
yeah,
They have to be closer, right, as well, to see
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
Like you couldn't put it on a pole way back, like
No.
pointed
Yeah,
there, but
no,
like way back,
they don't
because
have
you
as-
wouldn't be able to see.
yeah, the trail cams don't have as good of resolution. So putting them further away is tricky, but yeah, then
Some
just
of the trail
fact-
cams have Wi-Fi on them too, so you could actually,
Now, you could though, I mean, like, you're not gonna see the faces of so like, let's just say you put a trail cam on one of those trees or poles, like that's right where the turtle dock is, the approach is. You will see hubbub happening in the background and you might not see their faces, but then when they come walking back, you might see
Yeah.
their faces and you
Yeah.
might have the camera up so that people can't get to it or something. It might be just a cheaper option and then something that's,
Yeah, and
And they-
there is the one telephone pole down there.
mhm.
All it has is bell lines on it, but maybe we could approach Bell about seeing if they would let us put a trail cam, at least. Cause in a tree, trees are more easily
Yeah.
climbable for
Mhm.
people, but if it's actually on a telephone pole,
It's harder to climb up.
yeah,
and-
the
and
chances
have
of
it.
them getting up
and you
there.
can get
are
harder cases for them, like I've seen them
Yeah.
like metal cases where
Okay, certainly we can
bears
look
can rip them
into,
apart, so.
I could definitely look into trail cam there on that pole and what the cost will be.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, yeah, and then the second piece, yeah, the dock has kind of ripped apart and the one section is kind of stranded out there. And,
Hmm.
yeah, it's gonna be a bit tricky to get it out. Cause my understanding is that it was kind of installed in pieces and the person who installed it is no longer
Yeah, he's passed away.
yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't weld aluminum outdoors, so essentially we'll take out that far piece, but then it might end up having to be more pieces come out. To repair it and put it back in.
I don't know, like, I would almost suggest like just removing that far piece altogether and just I don't know if it can go somewhere else or do something else with it or use pieces. It's unfortunate, but I think it's just, we're just gonna have to end up,
Taking it in. and out
yeah,
kind of-
because of the,
And
whatever it is, the
yeah.
current and the ice and everything. I think it's in a spot like that where it's just gonna keep cracking. It's gonna cause problems. And again, it's so far out of the sight of people that
Yes.
it's just screams to be destroyed purposefully.
The whole system was meant to be modular, so
Mm.
it could probably be somewhere else.
And it's still a nice walk out there to just like, when you take that end piece off and maybe just put a gate or something at the end, I don't know. Yeah,
And that is actually, that's what I was discussing with the foreman today, just because I guess this has kind of happened a couple winters now of issues with it, so. And we, like, the view is still there, you know, you still have a portion of the dock, but I think just it kind of breaking and needing repairs every year is
Yeah.
counter.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna start costing too much money, and if it keeps happening, then.
So I will, look into options, for what we can do to close off that one end, get the other piece out, maybe we could utilize it on one of the other docks that's, down there.
Okay.
That isn't as close to those shallow waters where it's going down and then you're sitting on rock.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So 4G, the garbage truck, so council receives the repair costs of 12 to 15,000 to the garbage truck in order to bring it back into operation. As repairs were substantial and there are limited options for used trucks at an affordable rate, recommendation is to complete the repairs only and compile quotes for gently used or new garbage trucks to be purchased in the future.
Okay, does anyone have any questions on that one?
Do we share a garbage truck at all? with Red Rock, or-
Yes, so, yeah, for the last, I don't know the exact date that the garbage truck went down on, but we've been.
We've been using ours,
using Red
so
Rock
there's
for
no
that.
formal thing to share the one truck completely, right?
No,
Okay, because that was talked
Not
about
at
in the
this
past
time.
and that never really materialized, so.
yeah.
So there was something
Certainly
like where our days were Tuesday and Friday and theirs were Monday and Wednesday, or,
Yes, our
or
days
they
don't-
were anyway, so maybe there was an opportunity to,
Yeah, I think.
if their garbage truck is in the same condition as ours, maybe we could,
Yeah,
buy one together or something, Yeah.
certainly,
cause we're doing that right now, right? We're sharing, so,
exactly.
yeah, so anyways,
Exactly.
just a comment.
That's,
and-
no,
yeah.
that's a really good, idea, so I will add that. to my notes. So for H, the lagoon aerators, the aerators were installed on November the 6th, 2024. It is the intent that these will reduce the smell from the septic plant. All signatories from the petition will be notified with a letter that the aerators were installed and to follow up if there are still smell issues. So that's good news for us.
If you were to, when they notify, they would notify the time, the date and time as well.
And
Very
that's,
important because you can go back to your records and see.
yes, and that's what, I have been, especially with Dennis too, like I've been asking him to note like dates, times, weather, just so that we have a better understanding, of when the smell is worse.
Let's hope it's
And I'll note that.
disappeared.
Yes, and I will also, like, in my letter to the residents, I'll make sure to note, for them to note those types of things as well. 4I, the marina plan, so, draft survey to be completed by staff, draft survey to be completed by staff. Public Works Super recommends that we develop this survey over the winter months and request feedback in March and April from the community. And then secondly, Parks Canada has confirmed that they will begin hauling material the week of November 11th to 15th, 2024, to fill in the existing excavation on the marina property at the proposed Parks Canada site.
That, from what I've been told, it started.
It has, trucks were going by today, so that has, started. That's kind of all we have right now from an update from them, but, hopefully we get some more info in the coming months, and then that can be included, as part of, the survey that we send out to inform residents of what's going on there. So 4J, the museum building, Public Works Super is investigating incomplete electrical updates, fire alarm system, and air conditioning issues at the museum building. Information to be provided as received.
Any questions on that? I know, that's Gail's committee and she was,
Yes.
talking about it a bit at the last council meeting, so I think we know what's going on there, and yeah, updates will be appreciated.
Yeah, certainly. So 4K flower beds, Public Works Super to provide a verbal update on expenditures related to florals and the flower beds. Annual budget for landscaping, flowers, trees and shrubs in the township is 4,000 a year. So I totaled it up and it is $3,357 was spent on florals this year. I know, Gail was, interested to know that, which that is, likely the additional flowers is what put our budget over this year. But we also have gotten a lot of really great feedback about the flower beds and how it's really brightened up the downtown area here, so I think that they did a good
If
job.
that was the purpose of them, and it seems to have worked.
Yes, exactly, I agree.
So the $4,000 is going to be sort of the new budget now per year, is that what you're
I'm
saying?
saying it would probably have to, well, the one caveat to this is that, and like Gail explained, some of these florals that she did purchase are. and
Annuals?
sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, annuals, sorry. But they're the ones that come back every year, so hopefully.
Perennials.
Oh, perennials. Yeah.
Yes, so hopefully that budget will, over time, and hopefully next year, not be as inflated, but I do think we should come up a little bit, just to have some space for those additional flowers.
The perennials tend to be the more expensive ones too.
Yeah, yes.
So is this do you know if this is the whole budget for the beautification committee for their whole year? Because I know when I was talking to a few of them when they were sort of planting the daffodils, they were saying that, you know, those little pipes they put in, that they were gonna be putting Christmas trees and stuff in there. So is that all part of this budget?
I'll have to double check
Okay.
if that is part of this budget, with the beautification committee.
Okay,
That, there wouldn't have been a budget created for that yet, because
Yeah.
it's new, right? So it's probably something you have to look at next year.
yeah, which is, yeah, why I was wondering if that 4,000 would include, include that, or if we'd have to
Mhm.
raise it a little bit for seasonal stuff, not just in the summer. Okay,
So 5A, GIS system, council receives information on a proposed GIS regarding software that can provide improved record keeping and maintenance history of various infrastructure assets, including bylaw enforcement records, property history, and relevant information. This software can also be used to identify and map available properties for sale and surplus in the township. As recommended by Harold Wilson, the economic development consultant, and was supported by council. So the price of the software from CGIS is $300 a month, unlimited users and no setup fees. So the CAO and Public Works Superintendent are recommending to purchase and utilize this software.
questions? I think that'll be wonderful to have.
And Glenn, I'll talk with you a little bit more, because I know you have a lot of experience with that kind of stuff, so I might just want to pick your brain
I'm
too.
very
about how
happy
the-
to see that their system is based on Esri.
Yes. Yeah, so I should get some more information on its capabilities and stuff like that as well.
The link that I sent was actually the link from the company specifically to municipal uses. So
Okay,
there's some
okay,
stuff right there.
awesome.
Okay.
So 5B, trail maintenance. So discussion requested by Councilor Harper, the need to determine trails in question and who's responsible for maintenance of such. So in looking into that, there was an RFQ that went out this year, and Epic Adventures got the contract for trail maintenance for the Nipigon River Trail and the Bald Spot and Pine River, Pine. I can't remember.
Deer Lake
exactly.
Mountain?
There's no, Pine,
No.
I have to double check, but it's certainly those two and the one in question that you brought up, the Nipigon River Trail. However, that contract only runs from April 1st, 2024 to October 31st, 2024. And so I talked with the team as well, just to see like if we do, like internally do maintenance on the trail during outside those months, but we we haven't in the past done that.
Usually it's there.
There are volunteers. I know Sumi has gone out to,
And somebody used to take their.
so that might be something to talk to Sumi about.
Okay.
It's not part of her job. It's like a volunteer thing
Yeah.
that she does if she's capable of going and fixing up the trail. But if it's something that takes a little more, work or more than one person, or like a chainsaw, I don't know if she has a chainsaw or not, then, that's normally, yeah, just people will report it to the town and then,
So we
Let the
still take
volunteers know.
the concerns that are reported,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, we should still take those concerns
And
because
did we
people
bring it
use
to you,
them.
Taylor, or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
certainly.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good to know, so that people know if they
Yeah,
ask
that's what
us
a
who to go to.
Citizen can send that in to me or something, and
Yes,
I
certainly.
didn't even know what trail it was on at first,
Yeah.
so.
Cause a lot of
Yeah.
people do use the Nip Rock Trail in the
Mhm,
winter time,
yes.
they
Oh,
just
yeah,
like the
yeah.
flat part to go, yeah, back and forth or
Mhm.
snowshoeing or just hiking or whatever they like to do. So
Yeah.
having that kept clear, and
Mhm.
as we know, the wind has been really,
Is it ever inspected for like hazard trees? Cause I took a walk down to the little mill, I don't know, in the fall somewhere, and some of the trees looked a little bit questionable, you know?
it should be.
Yeah.
I was involved in the trails a lot,
Mhm.
with insurance and stuff like that, and the trails are insured under, I forget under what umbrella it was decided to go under, but, as far as I understand, a wilderness trail, should be inspected at least once a year.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be more than that, but for any, and then, noted any kind of issues happening, and I think that usually might happen in the spring. That might even be something that Epic Adventures
I was
would
gonna
do,
say,
or whoever
yes.
gets the next year's contract, that might be
Mhm.
maybe part of the contract is to do that inventory of hazards.
Yep.
Yeah.
The hazard is all the roots. That's what I found when I went on this summer.
Yeah.
All the roots are now sticking up in lots of places.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a hazard for me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
need some more fill in there. I
And
guess,
it
or something.
depends on what this classification of the trail is too, because with roots, when you have a wilderness trail, it's just, and that's why you only do once a year. So, but if it was, let's say it was like a green circle trail, accessible trail, then it would be like 4 times a year or something like that. It's
Mhm.
different. But because the whole thing is a black diamond trail, because of all the different, difficult
Yeah.
areas in it, it's once a year. But we also take, people say, well,
Yeah.
there's a huge tree coming where it's like this and you have to
Yeah.
crawl under it, so it's gonna
Yeah.
fall on somebody,
Yes.
then that should be reported and just noted.
So even some low spots, do we take care of that? Cause like I noticed there were some soggy spots a couple times there where, it needed another few inches of fill or something, or.
I think that trail maintenance would also fall under Epic Adventures.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but that would be something, again, to
Again,
check
to
the
add,
contract,
But hauling and fill would be under a separate thing too.
In that maintenance,
Yes.
that would be a.
there's not a lot of
Well,
issues
not a
now,
project,
cause,
but a bigger project, yeah.
there was all the pipes, whatever they're called, that were installed maybe 6 years ago or something like that to sort of prevent the flooding of the trail because it was getting pretty bad. And then re-roaded and, anyway, yeah.
Well, I kind of just went through everything.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we wanted,
Okay.
because then we have this whole list of everything. Okay, so maybe what we'll do is we'll go through the resolution. So before, or we can do the moving and the seconding, and then what I'll do is read through it, and then if there's any question about any of it. We do have to discuss which species we want. I guess we have to pick one, right? Yeah. Where is it here?
You could also pick 2 and we could do 3 of each.
Okay,
Some of them, we should be considering shorter trees. Like some of the trees that were planted in cities before are 80 and, like massive trees that are
Mhm.
creating a maintenance nightmare later.
Hmm.
So I don't know if there's any of those, 25-foot trees or instead of the 60 or whatever, that might
Your
be,
yellow birch and white birch are gonna be huge.
yeah.
They
just-
grow very slow.
Yeah.
There'll be
Yeah.
future council problems. And then black cherry, I wonder how tall that grows.
I'm more into black cherry, how well do they produce cherry blossoms in the spring? Because number one, they're beautiful in the spring, but then the one down here at the municipal office, after they make all those cherries and they fall and make quite nice.
Mhm.
Attraction for bears as well, probably, right?
Ah,
Then we can charge charge to see the bears.
Bear sightings.
So would we want to go with the birch then? Yellow and the white birch?
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that, so.
See, they'll also shoot out other trunks too. So if you top them and stuff like that, you can't really top them, so. But they will get quite large over time, but they'll take forever. I don't have
Alright.
a problem with the black cherry either, like if they're gonna grow. They might add some really good color down there.
That could. And I mean, we would likely have summer students working down there at that point to clean up.
Yeah.
After the spring, kind of.
Is that when they blossom in the spring, I imagine? Okay, so yeah, then we have students.
But
then.
it would be a very nice,
Be a nice,
kind of focal point,
Yeah.
for people driving down there and visiting.
They are very.
There's, yeah, and then you get people, right, wanting to take pictures and
Mhm.
that kind of
I
stuff.
think birch trees can be kind of boring.
There's a lot of them, yeah. I'm with you, Greg, I don't know about, so, Okay,
That's firewood.
let's,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yes, yes. birch is
How about we
very
go with black cherry? Does that sound good? It sounds like it'll be pretty and we'll have the students down there to clean up the cherries. Or make,
Yeah.
make lunch with them, I
And
don't
they're
know.
stable.
Mhm.
I still am looking at the,
I know, I was shocked at some of them too. I was like, did you see those trees all over here?
Yeah,
But,
well, we'll go with their recommendations then, I guess, of the stable ones, and then we'll choose the black cherry if that, if Glenn's in agreement with that one.
Chris Wrigley and North Shore actually test planting like different trees now in some of the places like oaks and stuff like that. And lodgepole pines, and they're still growing.
They're doing well.
Well, up here, everything
yeah.
takes one event to knock them out, but they survived anything that could survive last winter, because there was no snow coverage to protect anything.
Mhm.
So,
All right, guys, so I'm gonna do, read the resolution and I'm gonna read it through and just stop me if there's anything you wanna discuss or that you don't agree with, okay? So resolution 260-2024, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Hart. Be it resolved that council receives staff report 2024-11-05-01 for information, and that staff are directed to plant 6 heritage trees as provided by Parks Canada, which are of the black cherry species. Number 2, accepts the proposal as presented by Villeneuve Mechanical Limited in the amount of $48,876,000 plus HST to purchase and install boilers in the township municipal office, and the proposal in the amount of $1,482 plus HST to inspect the existing hydronic system to improve HVAC distribution in the municipal office. Number 3, the staff are directed to issue a request for proposal to provide senior snow plowing services in the township of Nipigon. Number 4, that staff are authorized to secure a contractor to remove a loose section of turtle dock at the lagoon and complete the necessary repairs to the existing railings. Number 5, that staff undertake repairs estimated to cost up to $15,000 to keep the township's garbage truck operable, and authorizes staff to compile quotes for used and new trucks for council to consider. And finally, that staff are directed to draft a survey for the public about the current issues or uses, of the marina, which will be used to develop a marina plan. Okay, all in favor? And carried. Okay, then we have 261, resolution 261-2024. So this is about the purchase of the GIS software, if you guys can.
I think that one in municipal building is a black cherry.
We have to go into closed session for today. Okay, resolution 261-2024, moved by Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor, oh my God, Harper. I keep wanting to call you like Hardy. Harper. Be it resolved that the township purchases GIS software from CGIS in the amount of $300 per month. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, we're not going into closed session today, just so you guys know. We don't need to. So This is 262-2024, and this is just to adjourn the meeting and all that good stuff,
Well,
isn't it?
put it in the wrong spot.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my
Just had
goodness.
one thing for any other business.
Oh, we'll do that after. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, well, you sign that.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, I was gonna do that after we did everything. So any other business?
I just had one thing that the recycling is full. Yeah. It was right to the end when I went there a couple days ago, so
The paper?
yeah, the cardboard. I never went to the plastic one, but
Okay.
I only had cardboard.
Okay,
There has been one ordered.
there has been one ordered. Okay, yeah, sometimes it'll take a little bit. That one time it took like 2 weeks. Whew. Counselor Hart, do you have any other business? I don't think I have any other business either. Okay, so, do you have anything else to add, Taylor, before? No. Resolution 262-2024. Making sure that's right. Moved by Counselor Harper and seconded by Counselor Hart, that this council meeting adjourns at 7:35 PM to meet November 19th for the next regular council meeting and on December 10th to discuss. Is December 10th the Public Works meeting?
Yes.
Okay, to discuss Public Works issues? Or what did you mean to say in that, Oh, he go, to discuss,
Public Works matters.
Public Works matters. Issues probably wasn't the correct word. Okay, that this council, meeting adjourns at 7:35 PM to meet November 19th for the next regular meeting and on December 10th to discuss Public Works matters. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I just wanna ask you, Glenn, when you're talking about those black cherry trees, the cherry trees that are down the